it's Hailey, and today is Bookmas Day 3, so I'm going to be talking about the books that I wish that I had read in 2019. So today we're going to be focusing specifically on new releases that came out in 2019 that I never got the chance to pick up. A lot of these books were included in my most anticipated releases for 2019 video that I did for Bookmas last year, and I really was excited about them, but I have so much trouble keeping up with new releases, and especially when it gets toward the end of the year, there's so many of them and I just don't get to pick them up. And also, I spent so much time reading adult romance because it was quick and easy that I put new releases on the back burner, which is very sad. So I've got a pretty big list here, and this is also a narrowed down list, so everything about it is just sad. Surprisingly, I only have 2 sequels on this list, even though I'm sure that there's more that I'm just forgetting about right now. I'm a terrible person for a number of reasons, but when it comes to picking up sequels, I'm horrible about it. So I wish that I had gotten the chance to read Finale by Stephanie Garber. This is the final finale book of the Caraval series, and I read both Caraval and Legend in the years that they came out, and they're super fun circus mystery stories, and each book left me wanting more in a good way and wondering what is going to happen in the final book. So I've had the final book since I think May, and I haven't picked it up. So why is that? Someone explain that to me. I don't know. I suck. So this will definitely be on my 2020 TBR. Actually, all the books in this video will be. That's why I'm focusing on new releases for this particular video, because I want my 2020 TBR to be just anything. Next is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I was so excited for this book to come out. Leigh Bardugo is one of my favorite authors of all time, if not my #1 favorite author. I love her, and her first adult novel is super intriguing to me, but I'm also kind of scared of it, I'm not gonna lie. Not just because it's a thriller and it's scary, it's set at Yale and it deals with ghosts and stuff, but because I'm nervous that it's not going to be something that I will like, because I'm not gonna lie, this generally isn't something I would pick up if I didn't recognize the author's name. I did start this book, but I opted to put it down, not because I wasn't enjoying it, but because I was listening to the audiobook while I was finishing up my edits and planning for Bookmas, and it just wasn't the time. I had wanted to finish it before I started filming for Bookmas, but I will just read it eventually. I am going to have to read it soon because it is our bookmarked book of the month, and we're doing the live show hopefully sometime in January, but I wanted to save it for a time when I would have a little bit more brain space to dedicate to it. So the audiobook also wasn't really working for me, so I think I'm going to try physically reading it at the beginning of 2020. Next is Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. I for sure 100% remember including this list on my most anticipated releases of the year for last year, my Bookmas video that I did, and I remember saying how excited I was for it, and I really was, and then I got it, and why haven't I read it? Why? This is described as Project Runway meets Mulan. Like, that's everything that I want and more. Oh my gosh. So it's about this girl who disguises as a boy and enters into this tailor's competition in her father's place, but she has to beat out, I think, 15 or so other tailors, and the final task that they have is to make dresses out of like these wild materials like the moon, the sun, the stars, things like that, and that just sounds so magical and beautiful. I love the idea of this book, so I would ultimately probably enjoy reading it, so why do I like depriving myself of things that I would enjoy? Who knows? We could delve into that, but let's not. Next is The Fountains of Silence by Ruta Sepetys. Ruta Sepetys is one of my favorite authors once again, and she is definitely one of my favorite historical fiction authors. I have 2 books that I've read by her. I think I've only read 2 books by her, but both of them were really well done historical fictions, and this is her newest one that came out this past year. It is set in Spain in the 1950s, so it is following the Spanish Civil War, and Spain is under a fascist dictatorship, and you follow 2 characters, so all of these American tourists are coming and seeing the kind of veil that Spain is hiding behind. And one of those tourists is the son of an oil tycoon who is coming to try and learn about the country of his mother's birth. And he ends up connecting with a girl who is living in Spain and living under this dictatorship, and kind of exposes him to the present situation, but also the past that they have been through. So following these 2 characters, you get that story. And the boy is also a photographer, so I think there were pictures in here. I don't entirely remember, but this is a time period I don't know about, so So I'm interested to learn more about it, and I'm always looking for new historical fictions, and since this is an author that I love so much, I should have read this year, and I had an arc, and I just, it's edits and book writing. It just messes up my reading, honestly. I used to be so good at keeping up with new releases, but it's very difficult to balance it all. Next is The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. Apparently this is about vampires, but it doesn't say anything in the synopsis about it. Ooh, that's pretty. I feel like the last few books, yes, the last few books all came out toward the end of the year, and I didn't have arcs of them. This one I did get an arc for, but later in the year. Actually, I had arcs for 2 of them. Okay, so the last couple of books, even though I had arcs for them, I got them close to the release date, and the release date was near the end of the year, so I feel like I kind of get a pass on having not read them yet. But this is set in New Orleans. I think that's how you say it. I know it's pronounced differently, but I can't remember how you're supposed to say it. But it's set in 1872, and someone said it was about vampires, but like I said, nothing here says vampires. But it does deal with a murder mystery in the sort of underground world of New Orleans, and that just sounds so cool. And I have read 2 books by Renee Ahdieh. The one I didn't like, but The Wrath and the Dawn I did really enjoy, so hopefully I will like this one as well. Next is Call Down the Hawk by Maggie Stiefvater. This I didn't have an arc of, and it came out near the end of the year, so there was like no hope for me to read it before Bookmas and the end of the reading year. So I definitely get a pass on this one, but this is the first book in a new trilogy about Ronin, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see the Raven Boys again, and Blue, and Ronin, and just everyone. I'm so excited. I know Ronin is one of the Raven Boys, but like this focuses on him, so I feel like he deserved his own, I can't think of the word right now, but I haven't read the Raven Boys in so long. Like I haven't read about those characters in forever, and I'm just very excited to be with them again. And oh, I've been avoiding reviews, so please don't tell me anything. Don't tell me if you liked it, if you hated it. I don't want to know. Not until I read it. I want to read it and then form my own opinion, and then you can tell me all the things that you thought about it. I'm hoping it won't let me down, because that would be a major disappointment, but I can't believe it's already in my hands. I kind of forgot it was happening, and now it's here. What? And finally is The Toll by Neal Shusterman. So I actually am going to try and read this before the end of the year, but as of now, when I'm filming this, I haven't read it yet, and I really don't think I'll be able to read it before the end of the year because I want to focus on my Christmas books, but it's definitely a book that I wish I could have started on the day it came out. This is the finale to the Scythe series, and that is a series that I love, and my love of it was rekindled in 2019, so it would have felt very appropriate to finish the entire series in 2019, but oh well. I also wanted to give an honorary mention to The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This is like an epic giant fantasy tome that is like 1,000 pages or something like that, and I've heard some great things about it, and I wish I had read it this year, but I don't know when I'm gonna be able to pick it up because it just scares the crap out of me. It's so big. So those are the main books that I wish I had read in 2019. Like I said, like I can look at my shelves right now and pick out probably 10 more books that I wish I had read in 2019, and that's just focusing on the books that came out this year. It's so sad. It's just really hard to keep up with new releases, but I am going to try and work on that. But please do let me know what books you wish you had read this year. I hope you enjoyed today's Bookmas video. Don't forget to click that subscribe button, then click that bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I post. I'm posting 21 days over the course of December, so you'll definitely want to do that so you don't miss any new videos. You can also follow me on all of my social media. All of my handles and links and that fun stuff is down below for you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!